Hey there, warriors, and welcome back to Be a Warrior podcast. I am your host, Angie, and I am so thankful that you are here today. My apologies that last week I was absent. I had a chance to get away and do a true vacation with my whole family, which I love being able to do with my boys being in their 20s now. It's not all the time we get a full vacation with them. They're working and they're in school. But this week was a fantastic week. And we went back to the island of Kauai where I surprised my husband with a 30th anniversary vow renewal on the beaches. And let me just tell you, it was everything I wanted it to be. Sometimes I like work things up in my head and then get disappointed that they didn't turn out the way I wanted. But I don't know if I'm just getting more chill in my older ages or what. But it was beautiful. The rain didn't come. That was wonderful because it was supposed to rain all day. We had a beautiful orange and pink sunset off the mountain, and it glowed up into the clouds that were there. The ocean was gorgeous. It was just amazing. So I'm feeling refreshed, renewed, and excited to be back. And I really wanted to talk about success and finding success in your life, because when we are successful, we are happy. And when we are happy, we're better to be around. You can ask my kids. When I'm happy, everybody's happy. When mom is happy, the world is happy. So, that being said, I wanted to just talk about this because I think success is a very personal thing. Um, some people think success is having a good job or a good marriage or making a lot of money or finding free time or vacationing, whatever. As an amputee, it becomes very, very honed in. And if you are competitive at all, like I am, you will realize that your success is what will drive you forward to the next success and the next success and the next. And that is really important because that is what makes for a well-rounded amputee and one that can take care of themselves. Because quite frankly, as we get older, we have to know what we are capable of doing. And if we're dependent on others, we might find ourselves alone at some point in time down the road and having to figure out things later in life. And that's tough. So I always am trying to build my strength and my stamina based on everything I do day to day, even if it is just walking around the house all day, because we've had major rain here in Arizona. And so just getting out and about and moving in my prosthesis is very important, because every day I don't do that and I just sit around or whatever, if I'm not feeling well, I get weaker. And I always say, if you don't use it, you lose it. Same thing goes with wearing your prosthesis. The less you wear it, the heavier it becomes because you've lost the muscle tone to carry it through on your gait. And so I I find this really, really important because each one of us comes from a different journey and is on a different path, a different way of having to get through this and navigate it. Whether or not you're female or male, above knee, below knee, hip disarticulate, whatever it is, an amputation is not the same for anyone. And your upbringing, your stamina, your pain tolerance, your support system, your uh, economic status sometimes can make a difference. If you can't afford a prosthesis, you can't walk in one, then you're going to struggle there too. So economic does come into account here, especially if you don't have a good insurance that will allow for very expensive prosthesis. So we all are from different avenues and different journeys and different pathways. And that's why I only speak to what I know. And that is my journey. My journey as an above knee amputee that started in my 40s and I'm now in my 50s. And as I see age creeping and getting up in the morning, being a little slower and a little stiffer, things are very important to me that I keep moving and keep lubricating the joints really with movement, right? But success comes in all forms. And I feel like there's a need for this to be stated over and over again because, like a mom who raised boys that lived in an age of social media and the presence of filters and people stay showing their best of their life, the reality is, I can't tell you how many times I told my kids growing up, remember that you have a really good life. What that person is showing is the best moment in their day, and the rest of their day may be crap, but they had to show everybody that they were having a blast doing this, or whatever it was, or their best outfit they were in, and the day they felt the best about themselves, whatever it was. Remember that social media is a snapshot of someone's best. And that goes the same for amputees. If I'm struggling to fit in my socket, I surely will not be making a video on how to walk as an amputee while I'm limping because it's falling off of me, or I have a rash that's burning or something, because it's going to be an ugly walk. Why would I want to show that to anybody? Now, sometimes I will show that to show you what it looks like when you're hurting, because I think transparency is important, because in our community we see so many people doing all these epic things now that we're not seeing those that struggle, or what struggle looks like. And when I say what it looks like, I don't necessarily mean how you physically appear, but how you emotionally, mentally handle that struggle. And that is so important, because we don't know what other people are going through behind closed doors. We surely see their best on social media. And yeah, I mean, I'll show you, like this last trip to Kauai, I got out and surfed again. Do I surf all the time? No, I surf that one time a year when I go to Kauai, and I do the best I can in the time that I have. But we like to do other things. So I don't just invest an entire week of just being in the ocean. Man, if I did that, I'd actually be really good. But I spend an hour and a half, 2 hours surfing in a year until I get to the ocean again, or can convince my family to surf with me somewhere else, like California. Um, but I'll show you that I got up because I'm proud of myself in that moment, for someone who doesn't get to surf much because she's a desert rat now. And so I don't get to go out and do that often. And I'm always feeling very proud of that accomplishment, and want people to see that, yes, the average person can actually do that as an amputee. You don't have to be a Paralympian or on the para surfing team. You can actually just go out and surf for the fun of it, and prove to yourself that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And that's why that's important, is because to me, that is success. If I say I want to learn to surf, and that's what I did right after my amputation, I want to learn to surf. I had never surfed before until I became an amputee. And what better time? I don't know if I can or not. And if I can't, well, it's probably because I'm an amputee. And if I can, well, look at me. I can actually overcome what some people call a disability, and I don't see as a disability. So there's that type of success that we can see. Now, I also want to point out that for each one of us that's an amputee, all of our journeys are totally different. You may look like me, you might be my age, you might have the same amputation I do, but your prosthetist is different, your health is different, your pain tolerance is different, your support system is different, like I was talking about before. That makes your journey different than mine, and what you can tolerate or what you will tolerate. I had three big brothers growing up that were all in sports that I went and watched and also played or helped them practice in. So I became extremely competitive very early on. And they taught me a lot about the grit that it takes and determination it takes to be good at a sport you choose to play, and what it takes to compete against someone else who wants your position. So I take that with me. That has always been who I've been. I don't know any other way to be. And so what success looks like to me is different than you. And I would really like to tell you that you need to remember one major thing, that comparison is the thief of joy. When you look at social media, because that's where most of us that live in an area where there are no other amputees that you know of, I'm not friends with any other amputees around here. I don't know of anybody. I'm not firsthand name basis with many around here, except a few ladies that I get with on Zoom that are in other parts of Arizona. But when it comes to my exposure to what an amputee can and cannot do, it's through social media. And social media shows me Paralympians competing at the highest level and some average Joes, but truly, mostly people that are promoting themselves for what they can do as an amputee, whether it's physical therapy, whether it's personal trainer, weightlifters, surfers, skiers, you name it. They're there and they're on social media and they're showing you the best of the best. And that drives me nuts because I want to be just like that. If they can do it, then I know I can do it. But what we really need to be focusing on is, what does success look like for me? I will never be at my age, nor do I desire to be on a competitive adaptive team. I probably could. I could be on the sled hockey team here. I've done it. I've been a part of that team. I just don't have the time for that. And I've broken a few ribs because ice is very hard. um, and it's not fun to break ribs. Not at all. I have played for long enough to have broken 3 times. And yeah, that's pretty painful for weeks at a time. But what do I want to accomplish? First off, after becoming an amputee, I wanted to get back to skiing. I missed 5 years of skiing while my kids were young, impressionable, and learning to ski. And I had to sit back because of a knee injury and watch them ski with their dad. I couldn't partake in it. I didn't see anything at top. I heard the stories, but that was it. That was my first goal. And my first goal was achieved 3 months after my amputation. And I will tell you, it was so hard. I was scared to death and I was so exhausted. Number one, I had spent 5 years of doing nothing physically active because of my knee injury. So I had gained weight and I was totally out of shape. Then you put me in a ski because I skied with one leg and outriggers that took a lot of upper body strength. And by the end of a half a day of lessons, I felt like I had been beat to crap. I was so tired. And I went back the next day, but sore as could be, and skied another half a day. And that was all my skiing that trip, but I did it. And I got up on a ski lift and I got to the top. To me, that success signifies that I will be able to ski with my husband when he retires, like we always had planned when we were younger. That was a goal for me, and that to me is success. Success also for me is that I get up every morning and without batting an eye, I put my leg on no matter what. And I wear it all day long, no matter what. If it's a crap day and a crap fit and I hurt, I'm tired, I'm sore, I'm still wearing it. It just depends on what I can do that day physically. That is success to me. When I can get to the gym and actually do a real leg day where my butt cheek on the residual limb side actually hurts the next day, that means I'm using the actual muscles that I haven't used in years, is igniting. That is success to me. I am not comparing myself to others. I'm just trying to be better than I was the day before. That is success. Now, I'm telling you this because I have seen way too many people get frustrated, embarrassed, and shut down because they aren't doing what the normal amputee is doing. And for some people, it is as simple as they're not walking. They can't walk there. They're fearful of walking. And that breaks my heart because what most people don't see, for those of us that do wear our sockets all day, our legs all day, is that to get to that point to where I'm in and out of grocery stores, jump in and out of cars, drive ourselves, go to the mailbox, whatever it is that we do, that took a lot of facing fears at the very beginning and putting our trust in a leg that we don't know how to control yet. Some of us succeed and some of us can't get past the trust and the fear. Here's the point that I want to make for those people. Number one, if you are scared to death of your leg, it's understandable. It takes time and it does take a lot of facing fears. And when you face fears just with walking, It is a very exhausting effort. I I remember how tired I was just walking around my house the first couple days that I got my leg. And I remember having to face those fears when I'd go outside in public because I knew everyone was watching me, or I felt like everyone was watching me, waiting for me to screw up, is what I always thought. And that in and of itself, for a lot of people, is enough to tell them to stop and not to go any further, to forget it. Just forget it. I'll just be in a wheelchair. So here's to those people: set your own goals. Don't worry about what other people think. And I hope that you aren't dealing with the fact that someone in your own family or support group is giving you a grief for you not sucking it up and doing it. Because if they have two legs, they have no idea what you're going through. And that is not a fair judgment on their part about you. So you need to set up your own goals. You need to have things that make you feel successful. And if you are too fearful right now to use your prosthesis, number one, I would tell you, please don't give up. Baby steps. Don't give up. And if you're not using it, continue to build muscle one way or another through exercises in your home instead of just sitting in a wheelchair day in and day out. Because someday you're going to wish you had kept those muscles activating, and then it's going to get to a point where you're going to feel so far behind the eight ball that you may never put that leg back on. Second, I would say try to put that leg on every day, even if you're not walking in it, but at least sit in it. Become friends with it. Get used to the feel of it on your skin, because the more you don't wear it, the more comfortable you get with not wearing it. And the lighter everything feels and the better you feel, because the scary thing isn't a part of you and you don't have to worry about it. But the problem is you will never then get out of that wheelchair. And if you have a hope and a desire to one day do that, you need to stay active as much as you can now. And truly, I feel like sometimes, besides the trust factor in walking, getting used to the feel of that socket on your leg is a huge undertaking. It doesn't feel right. It's weird. It's something you never thought you'd have to wear, and there's nothing you can compare it to. I could say it's like putting a shoe on, but it's not, because who puts a shoe on their thigh and has it totally encompassing all that flesh? You just don't. So I would say make sure that you are actually wearing it. But truly, success looks different for each of us. And you should not be ashamed of yourself or beating yourself up for where you are at right now. It is a choice you are going to have to make, and a choice you need to live with, but be happy about the choice you're living with. If you feel ashamed or judged or any of those negative emotions, then you're not doing it for you. You're feeling that because of either an outside source coming in and giving you grief about that, or you're better than that, and you've given into fear. And fear can be easy to give into, but there is a healthy dose of fear that is good for you. And that fear is learning to trust your prosthesis. And the only way you can really do that, I would say, is wearing it. And really, if you want to be in a safe place, go to a PT that actually has the parallel bars, or one of those tracks where you can get harnessed up. So if you lose your gait and stumble, it catches you. No worries about hurting yourself. But if you live in fear and that fear holds you back from trying or succeeding, finding success for where you're at and what you want to do, then you've let fear win, and that is not going to be a healthy thing for you. So for those of you out there that struggle with that fear, struggle and let fear take over and win, if that's where you're at, reevaluate what you find is successful. What is success to you? Is success being able to wear your socket all day? Then get to that point. Is success being able to walk around your house during the day? then get to that. Is success for you just finding the independence to cook a meal while standing up in your prosthesis? Then get to that. But you have to set up what success looks like for you. It deals with your trust and your fears, it deals with your physical ability, your strength, where you live. You know, if you have 2 levels of stairs, you're going to have more of an issue trying to do crutches up and down stairs than wearing a socket and trying to hold on to rails and walk down with 2 legs. You'll have better success there. So I would tell you that success can be had, but are you setting yourself up for failure by looking at people that aren't in the same realm as you? If you're an above knee and you're looking at a runner that has a below knee, that is a totally different game. Do not compare yourself. If you see a runner who is an above knee and you wish you could do that, take a look also at their training and where when they lost their leg, what were they doing before they lost their leg? A lot of these runners were runners before. I wasn't, and I still struggle with running as an above knee. One, I don't like running. Two, I don't want to fall and break a wrist. I need my wrists at night for crutches. So I need to balance all that and realize that I wasn't a runner. It's some of these people actually ran a lot before they became an amputee. So getting back to running, they understand the mechanics and what it takes, and they're probably still in shape, or we'll get back to that because of muscle memory. But for those of us that weren't runners, why would you set your sights on becoming a runner? Oh, look at he can run or she can run. Oh, I wish I could do that. I'll never be able to do that. Well, is it really that important to you? At first it was to me. I'm like, I want to run. I want to show the world I can run. Yeah, and a few falls later, I'm like, this is not fun. Why would I want to run? But do I want to lift? Yeah, I love the gym. Do I want to hike? Hell yeah, because we have so much beautiful hiking here. I want to get back to hiking, and I wanted to ski. I have been skiing since I was 17. Those are realistic goals to set yourself and set your sights on to feel successful. And like I said, success comes in so many formats. Sometimes it's overcoming a bad fitting socket until the new one gets to you. And that is success. If you are still wearing a socket and doing life, getting to work, making a meal, standing in your house, taking the dogs outside for their bathroom break, whatever it is, if that makes you feel good, then don't look at social media and compare yourself to the Olympic runner who lost both their legs and they're actually running on 2 running blades. That's not a fair assessment of your success and theirs, because even they are comparing themselves to the fastest runner and they want to be that person. They don't realize that there are people like us looking, going, I wish I could run like that. There's always someone that's on the other side of what you can already do that you have taken for granted that some people haven't been able to do. Like the fact that even when I was going through my surgery this summer and going from test socket to test socket, I was wearing a prosthesis through pain when some people still were struggling to put theirs on after a couple years post surgery. There's always someone that's not showing their true self because they're either ashamed or they're fearful of judgment or whatever. So we have to look into ourselves for what looks successful to us, because when we feel successful about something we've done and accomplished, then we're happy. We're happy and healthy. When we start comparing ourselves to others, wishing we could do that, but I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that, those negative messages have no place in your life. Absolutely none. So call to action this week. What does success look like to you? If you're an above knee or you're below knee, whether you're hip disarticulate, maybe you've only lost your toes, or maybe you're an upper limb extremity limb loss person. What does success look like to you? Don't worry about the rest of the world. What happens if the world shuts down tomorrow and you can only look at yourself? When will you be happy at what you've accomplished? And make those goals up now. It is goal setting. It really is. But we really need to hone in on what it is that success looks like for ourselves and not worry about the rest of the world. Because if you're happy with what you've accomplished, then stay in that spot. Be happy for what you've accomplished. Don't worry about what other people are doing. We are all so different, and our journeys are so different, and how we handle things are so different that it is unfair to yourself to compare you to anyone else in this world. Whether they have two legs, one leg, no legs, one arm, two arms, it doesn't matter. Just worry about you. What do you want to accomplish most in this world? And maybe you have one solid goal, one solid task. Then go at it with all your heart and take it and break it into small, achievable chunks until you get to the end. And when you do, you will find you are going to be the happiest person in the world because you proved to yourself that you could do the one thing you wanted to do. And then guess what? You're going to be looking for the next goal and the next goal and the next goal. And the next thing you know, you'll look back and go, remember when? Remember when my amputation happened and I thought my life was over? It isn't over, it's different. But there are so many things that we can do. There is nothing stopping us. The prosthetic world is getting better and better every day. The sockets are getting better. You just got to find the right fit and the right style for you and the right people to surround you with and the people that will cheer you on and lift you up in the bad times, cheer you on in the good times. So get out there, warriors. You are stronger than you know. Stop worrying about what other people think of you and start living the life you want. Start finding successes in the little moments and find that happiness that will continue to feed you as you progress. Once you get that and once you've learned that secret, you're going to live an amazing life. But please stop comparing yourself to anybody else but you. Compare yourself to the day before and tell yourself, I want to do 10 steps more. I want to do one more trip to the grocery store. I want to do another, whatever it is. Just keep going forward. Keep increasing and bettering yourself for you. Because in the end, it's only about your life and what you're doing, not anybody else in this world except what you want. So be happy. Find happiness in what you want and what you can do. You are stronger than you know. Warriors, rise up. Let's go. Set your goals, get out there, and every day do a little bit more. You've got this, and I believe in you. So time to believe in yourself. I hope you guys have a great week. Set those goals, find your success, and let me know. Reach out to me. Tell me what you succeeded in. Let's celebrate each other together. And until next time, as always, be healthy, be happy, be you.